Why is it that regional rail systems in cities like Berlin, London, and Tokyo are praised so much, while New York's own Metro North and LIRR systems are always talked about in a bad light? Well, it's a long and complicated answer. However, I plan to answer that question in this video, while also talking about some things that can be done to our network to improve it and put it on the map with some of those other ones. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more of this type of content in the future. Now, to start off, I feel like our network just isn't expansive enough. Our Metro North and LIRR networks are mostly focused on travel outside of the city, rather than being an expansive network within the city to provide a supplemental service to the subway. The MTA seems to be against expanding the network with extensions and new stations opening very infrequently. Just look at the newly opened Elmont station on the LIRR network. It's the first new station on the network in 50 years. I think that the MTA needs to make some effort into expanding the rail networks and really developing a system that can be used by commuters that need to get into the city from somewhere like Long Island or White Plains, and commuters who are looking to just get somewhere else in the city, like some people currently do with the Atlantic Shuttle. I think expanding the network on a regular basis could be beneficial and could turn our commuter rail system into something similar to the S-Bahn networks you see in Germany. Now, it's not like the MTA is completely against expanding the network, and we see that a bit with the Penn Access project, which will send the Metro North's New Haven line to Penn Station via the Northeast Corridor, adding 4 new stations in the Bronx in the process. This is definitely a good thing, however, more needs to be done. Currently, I think there are 2 or 3 extensions the MTA can look into. The first includes an LIRR extension down the east side from Grand Central Station down either 2nd or 3rd Avenue, replacing the future plans for the 2nd Avenue subway. I mentioned this in my 2nd Avenue subway poor design video, and with this plan I propose stops at 34th Street, 23rd Street, 14th Street, City Hall, and possibly even Fulton Street, although that might make it a bit difficult to build a certain tunnel that I propose, which would send the line to Atlantic Terminal, creating a loop. If done correctly, this would give the east side more rail service and possibly even remove some congestion on the Lexington Avenue line. Hell, there's already 4 tail tracks south of Grand Central, so maybe the MTA could even implement an express and local service pattern for an even higher frequency of trains, along with faster service. Honestly, I think this could be cheaper than phases 3 and 4 of the 2nd Avenue subway, being that this line is already 30 blocks further south than the current end of the 2nd Avenue subway, which is a bit below 72nd Street. Also, if the MTA finally snaps out of their current habit of building large, grand stations that skyrockets the price of their projects, the cost could probably decrease. I think the idea of sending the LIRR downtown in the place of the 2nd Avenue subway is a better plan than what the MTA currently has for phases 3 and 4. Instead of extending SAS further downtown, the MTA should consider sending it to Queens, but that is a topic for another video. The second extension, which is technically more of a reactivation, no, not the Rockaway Beach branch, I'd rather see that as a subway extension, but however, the creation of new stations along the Metro North's Harlem line. I think adding some more stations in the Bronx, maybe at places like Claremont Parkway and 149th Street, could be beneficial for people who either work or live in that neighborhood. Also, it could provide a service similar to the now demolished 3rd Avenue Elevated, while also reducing some of the congestion riders currently experience on the BX15 and BX41 bus routes. In Manhattan, some of the original stations in the tunnel section at 59th Street, 72nd Street, and 86th Street could be rebuilt and reopened to also help relieve congestion on the Lexington Avenue line. Now, I think those 2 are the most important extensions that could be made to our commuter rail system. However, if you have some others that you would like to see, please do leave them in the comment section below. If these additions were paired with a subway fare for all commuter rail trips made within the city, it would make the Metro North and LIRR more attractive options for regular commuters. Now, there are some other extensions that could be made, like a Metro North branch that runs east through the Bronx to Co-op City or Throgs Neck, or even sending the LIRR to New Jersey, which actually brings me on to the next topic, which is that we need a unified commuter rail network. What I mean by this is the three companies that we currently have. No, I am not counting PATH, with the Metro North Railroad, Long Island Railroad, and New Jersey Transit being combined into just one company with a new name. Name it something like the New York Regional Express. Shout out to TMC for my Discord server on that one. Now, I know that LIRR and Metro North are technically under the same agency with the MTA, however, they don't run together, they use different rolling stock, and they don't even have the same name, despite them being extremely similar services. Combining all of the companies would allow them to use the same fare system, with Omni. This could also open the door to through running, possibly with services running from places like Ronkonkoma to Newark Penn Station. I think this would just make it so much easier for passengers to traverse the New York metro area, as they wouldn't have to worry about carrying tickets for each individual agency. The final thing I would like to talk about is the rolling stock. Now, do I have a problem with the current Metro North and LIRR rolling stock? No, not really. However, I do have some comments about them. I love the trains. I like how most of the fleet is comprised of EMUs, which is undoubtedly the best type of train a commuter rail agency can have. However, for my proposals of this improved commuter rail network, I'm not too sure if they would fit well. What I'm mainly talking about here are the interiors. These trains are, understandably, geared more towards long-distance trips, hence the forward and back-facing seats. For operations similar to an S-Bahn network though, I don't think they would work. I'm not saying the MTA needs to get fully new cars, but some improvements to the seating, maybe incorporating some form of transverse seating with more standing room, would be more suited towards these types of operations. Maybe something similar to the BR483 in Germany. For some of the longer trips, like most made on New Jersey Transit, I think the more longer distance rolling stock can be used. Although, I would like to see NYCT move away from the diesel-powered trains and maybe pick up some electric locomotives. Or do what the MTA is doing and purchasing some Siemens Chargers with some venture cars. God, I love those trains. Anyways though, what do you think about these proposals and the improvements I've suggested for our commuter rail system? Are you happy with the state it is currently in? What would you propose? Tell me all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch all of you in the next video. Happy rail fanning.